Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to another episode of You Can Do It podcast. No shit. I'm going to edit that out. You can do it. All right.
Sorry.
We're killing this. We're killing it.
So far.
I always do bloopers, so this will make the blooper reel.
That's like a credit card company calling me.
Nice.
I'll hide. It's fine.
All right, let's try it again. In 3, 2, 1. Greetings and salutations, everybody. My name is April Burke. I am the host of the I Can Do It podcast. And if I can do it, so can you. Today, I am super excited to have my second guest, Caitlin Arcand. Yeah. Hi, Caitlin. How are you?
Good. I am so excited to be here because I like doing anything with you, and I haven't worked with you in so long, so I'm so excited.
I know, it's been ages. I always loved working with you, too. As soon as I met you, I was like, man, this girl's got it. She's got the motivation, the ambition, the talent. It's great. It's super hot here today in New York, very humid. Got a case of the humidity going on right now. How's it like?
That's why I trapped mine in, because it's so bad here in California.
I feel like they take up the whole screen. Like they're my co-hosts, 40 and Double D.
You have to pay extra for the full view.
Yes, definitely. You are now located in Los Angeles. How's it life out there compared to the East Coast?
Well, see, the funny thing is, I moved, and then a month later was an unheard of global pandemic, so
I know.
Haven't done much. It's good. It's hot. Actually, some days the East Coast has been hotter than here, which is weird. But
yeah,
right now it's really hot.
Nice. I've actually been invited out to California to the Fourth Wall. Have you ever heard of that comedy club?
Where is that? Is it
it's somewhere in Hollywood. I'm on Dat Fan and Friends. I do night shows with him, and he invited me out there.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, once life returns to normal and I can fly, I would love to come out there and definitely visit you. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Actually, it's pretty exciting. Dat announced last night that 3 scouts from America's Got Talent is going to start watching our shows. So I'm like super, super nervous. And like, you know, I'm filthy, but he told me to stay the same. So I'm going to stay the same.
I would actually love to see you do a family show such as America's Got Talent.
It would be great, wouldn't it? It would be a challenge, definite challenge.
They'll have to do that thing where they pan over the whole audience and everyone is like, oh!
People crying, people throwing up. It'd be great.
Tears.
It'd be so great. Now, you created a company of your own, Lady Spike Media. That's awesome. Tell me all about it.
So, how this happened was, I'll tell like the short version of a very long story. So this creepy man in a basement, that's how all good things start, right?
Yeah, right?
Creepy man asked me to run an all-female open mic in Cambridge, Massachusetts before I moved. So I was like, yeah, okay, we don't have one of these, let me do it. But surprise, the man with the basement venue turned out to be weird.
Ooh, surprise, surprise.
Not coming. So I was like, okay, I literally cannot have women coming into this venue because it's so bad. But I didn't want to take away like an all-female space. So then we moved to Improv Boston, and we ran as the only all-female comedy show for 2 years in like the New England area, which is kind of sad. And it was the only one. But also cool that I did it.
Super cool.
But then I was like, I want to do more because we were selling out like all of our shows. So I was like, I think this could actually be something. So that's when I started Lady Spike Media. So now we have our full like humor site. We have like 20 writers now, I think, from all different states. And we also do our live shows when there's not a pandemic. And we do lots of funny videos and all that. So it's like a full-fledged platform for women in comedy now.
Yeah, I went on the website and I was like, holy shit, like she's really expanded this. Like there's everything on there.
Yeah, it's a one-woman show, but it's on.
That's awesome. I'm in the process. I want to get my LLC. I'm going to start a production company called Healing with Laughter. Yes, I love the concept of it, and I produce a show here in my little small town of Cobleskill, New York,
Yeah.
and started the Healing with Laughter thing. And what I did was I took part of the profits from the show, and I donated it to the local domestic violence shelter that helped me.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
Yeah, Catholic Charities. Actually, they're a great organization. They help everybody in this county. This is a very poor county that I live in, and they help people with rent and electric and all that, and food pantries, all kinds of great stuff.
So awesome. Good luck with an LLC. It's a lot of work. But
Thank you. Yes, yes. I am finding that out. I created a Kickstarter.
I feel like when people like find out you own a business, I feel like people automatically think anyone who owns a business is rich. Not true.
Yes.
So people are like, oh, like for some reason people think I'm making like a shit ton of money off ladies, like, which I'm like not yet. But
Exactly.
people just like assume that, and they're like, oh, like how do I make my own business to like make money? And then I explain like literally how expensive and how long it took, and people are like, oh, okay, never mind.
I know. I started doing the research and I was like, holy shit. And I went through a LegalZoom.com because I don't know who the hell to turn to.
Yeah, no, I actually did the same. And then I found people because I was like, well, at least I'll make sure that I'm doing everything right. And I won't just have like a pile of papers that I don't know what to do with.
Yep. Exactly. I need all the help I can get.
Yeah.
I want to talk about your education. You went to Harvard, girl.
I did.
No, you went for, did you go for journalism or psychology? I could.
Both actually. Majored in psychology, minored in journalism. Because I just like figuring people out, and especially as a comedy writer, like my favorite thing is just like trying to figure out everything about everybody. So that was really cool. My journalism, like the people they have a thing called the Neiman Fellows at Harvard, which is like basically like every year they pick the best people in journalism and bring them to Harvard for a fellowship. And they actually taught some classes. So I was taught by like executive producers at NBC and at Associated Press, and like, so that was like a really cool thing. And they actually ended up all being women, which was awesome.
That is even super awesome. That's like, yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
it's great because us women, man, we are a minority in the comedy field.
God, especially now with everything going on, like it's not an amazing time to be a woman in comedy, but I'm trying.
Exactly. You and I actually, I think, did you start with Ron Herron too? I started with Ron Herron down in New York City.
Yeah. Yes,
and
that's how I met you.
Yes, he took us on a great trip actually to Ohio to do a benefit for veterans of PTSD. I had a blast.
Girl, I will remember, regardless of what his creepy ass is up to now, like that trip, I will never forget that trip.
Me either. And we drove together. It was
that trip. It was so good.
It was cool. Lindsay Semple came with us. That was a great trip. It was a great trip.
Yeah, it was us and Pauline Murphy, and it was so weird because like none of us really knew each other.
Yeah.
I remember like I drove up with some of the male comics, and so for like one night I had a hotel room to myself, and then I remember the next day being like, okay, 3 women are about to walk in this room, and I don't know any of them, but I have to be next to them.
It was very nerve-wracking for me too because, you know, in real life I actually have social anxiety, and like, you know, I can talk shit on stage all I want, but when it comes to, you put me in a group of 3-4 people, I freeze up. Like it's bad. And then
like instantly best friends though. I feel like we were all like, yeah.
We were. It was fantastic. And then
crazy shit.
And then we heard, ooh, Ohio has the drive-through liquor store. It was like, so we took a trip. Where was it? Columbus we drove through?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure wherever like Ohio State is, I think, because I remember people like getting drunk and being like, let's go to Ohio State. And I was like,
I remember I got pulled. Were you in the car? Yeah, I got fucking pulled over.
Oh yeah, when you told that awful joke to a cop, I don't know what it was. It
I don't.
Really bad. It was something really, really bad.
It was dirty, yeah. And he told me the whole police force had heard it. I don't know if it was about the Flintstones and the chewable country.
It was the Flintstones. For
it was.
That don't know what's going on. We got pulled over after we were on our way home from a bar actually, which was funny, but I don't think you drank there. I don't think
No, I didn't.
You didn't drink at the bar. So we were totally legal. We were driving home, we got pulled over, and you're like, we're comedians. And the cop's like, okay, if you tell me a joke, you can go. And then you just said something awful while his thing was.
I think I told him, like, I'm on so many medications and I keep up to date with the new ones coming out. And I recently heard that Flintstone's Vitamins is coming out with chewable morning after pill for teens and young adults. Because, well, if they could swallow, then they wouldn't need emergency contraception. And I felt so awkward because he was so sweet, the officer. He's like, hi, I'm officer. So, like, he said his first name and everything. Like, you know, we were getting to know each other.
Yeah, and then his radio was, like, on. So definitely everyone at the force.
They're probably like, these chicks are crazy.
Yeah, what are they doing in Ohio?
And then finding the drive-through liquor store, they were all closed, but it looked like we would have got murdered there if they
God,
were
we're so scary. We went to okay, that trip was the only time in probably my entire life that I've ever peed in the woods. I don't know where we were, but maybe it was where the venue was, because the venue was kind of like in the woods, but I just remember I needed to go to the bathroom so bad. And everyone's like, well, this is Ohio, that's what you do. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, they definitely have a different way of life out there. They're all super friendly and happy, it seems. And it's like,
I know. They threw us that after party at that bar. I remember that.
Yes, I can't remember the name of that place, but we were treated like gods.
Yeah, we were literally, everyone was like, female comics are the best, men suck. And we're like, yeah.
It was great. But who else was on that trip? Oh, Josh Paladini. I still talk to him. He's doing all right. I think he moved to Florida.
Okay, yeah. Who else? Oh, Herron.
Oh yes, I love that guy.
Yeah, his wife actually writes for Lady Spike, so I talk to her all the time.
Oh really? Yeah, he was so cool, so friendly and funny.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, and then just like a bunch of other random male comics. I don't remember. We know who are the real stars.
That's right. That's right. You know it. My first episode, I had Ken Pearlstein on. Have you ever worked with him? He's pretty great.
So is he from New York?
Yeah, he's a New York comedian. Yeah, he actually has a part in the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and he's like,
really?
Yeah, he's got some really cool stuff going on.
Oh, that's awesome. I need to like catch up with that show. I watched the first season, and then I think I got lazy or something.
I think I watched maybe the first 5 episodes, and then I fast forwarded to because he came in on the second season.
Oh yeah.
Like fast forwarded, but I thought it was great. You know, a divorced woman, single mother. You know, doing comedy. That's kind of my story, I think.
Oh my God, you're the marvelous Miss April. Look at you go.
Maybe I should change the name, the format.
Yeah, you really change things, and then you'll just get like sued by Amazon or something.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. There goes all my money I don't have.
They're out for blood.
They're gonna have to take all my Capri Suns and fruit snacks. That's all I have. Are there any new upcoming projects that's coming up that you want to promote?
Well, always Lady Spike Media. We're actually entering a new partnership. I can't say much about it right now, but I will put out all of the information in like a week or 2 from now. But it's a really big partnership with a new app that's going to be really exciting for us and will help our viewership. So I'm always promoting Lady Spike Media at Lady Spike Media. It's during quarantine, I've been trying to like keep myself busy. So we've been doing the show Quarantine Cocktails, where people make cocktails using whatever they have in their house. Some of them are really gross, don't recommend.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I can imagine.
But that's on Lady Spike. And then hopefully I'll start producing shows again when this is all over.
Yes, I know. I definitely want to do some kind of collaboration with you or something.
Yes, 100%. Especially if you're coming here, I definitely want to work with you.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I've just been up to the Zoom shows. I'm trying to put together a drive-in comedy show here in New York.
Not here. I don't think there's been any in California, but those look so cool. Like
they do. Yeah, I like the ones. I think they were in Atlantic City. The ones I saw, and like the comedians stand in the bed of a truck and they got the microphone. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, I don't think I could climb up into a bed of a truck without falling. So I might create like a different kind of stage, but I mean, it's pretty cool. You stay in your car. I guess they honk for instead of laughing because you can't hear, you know, they can't hear them laugh.
Oh my God, I can't imagine being honked on stage.
I know, right?
A lot of shit's happened to me on stage, but I don't know if I feel just be like, and punchline, beep, beep.
Oh my God, that just made me remember at that PTSD benefit, this guy and this lady come up to me afterwards and they're like, we were touching ourselves the entire time you were on stage. As he's shaking my hand, I was like, oh shit, germs.
Was that at the Ohio show?
Yes.
Why do I like vaguely remember that? I like sort of remember you having a really creepy encounter.
Yeah, because I ran to the bathroom to wash my hands afterwards.
Ew, oh my God, that's so disgusting.
It's so gross. Have you ever had any kind of weird shit said to you after a show?
Oh, 100%. Like, I'm trying to think what the weirdest, it's usually men saying,
yeah.
Well, one encounter that was just bizarre was that I was like at a show and I was talking to another comic in the green room this is like an important detail. We were inside the green room and we were talking and then I got off stage and he's like, wow, I didn't know you were a comedian. I was like, dude, we were in the group and he's like, oh, I thought you were like someone's girlfriend. I'm like, why would I have been in
Oh my God.
Dude, what? He's like, you were really funny. I'm like, yeah, I know.
It's nuts. I mean, I was on a Howard Stern show back in 2016 with High Pitch Eric, and I had to close my Facebook account down because I got hundreds, and probably even thousands of dick pics and videos of guys banging their girlfriends, jerking off.
Right.
Like, oh my God. Like, I tell dirty jokes, yeah, but like, I'm not interested in that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like not into, yeah. I feel like people think because you put yourself on a stage that you're just like open to whatever. Like, I did this show for 4 years where it was just like me and one other person in a circle of 100 audience members. And we had to like improvise the whole time. And people thought because they were so close to us that was an invitation to like touch me. And I was like, no, thank you. No touching.
And then like they see you on something and then they see you in public and they act like they know you. Like,
yeah, oh my God. That happened to me once in a restaurant. I was getting fries and this girl was like, I know you. And I was like, I know you too. What are we doing? She's like, you run that show with the women. I'm like, yeah, I do.
Nice. Now you also do shows with drag queens and the LGBT community, right? Or you used to?
I'm always with drag queens.
I love it. I would love to do that.
I feel like people associate me with that because like every time someone like needs a drag queen, they're like, Caitlin? Yeah, I've been performing with drag queens since I was not old enough to be in a club, but they snuck me in.
Oh wow, that's great.
Yeah, so I've like I judged a lot of drag shows. We did 2 runs of like an all queer cast of Scream. It was like a parody of Scream.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was. I played Stu Mocker. He was a puppet. It was really stupid. It was really fun, and I that's like one thing I miss about the East Coast a lot is like all of my drag friends there. And obviously, because of the pandemic, I haven't been able to make drag queen friends here. But ladies do a lot with the drag community, so I'm hoping to make some new friends soon.
Yeah, I think that's great. I got invited to some kind of burlesque show. I've never done anything like that.
Yeah.
They say I don't have, like, I don't dance. Like, I'll just stand there and tell
jokes.
Did you
have to do comedy there?
Yeah, it's comedy. They said I could dress up like in the burlesque, or I don't have to. So I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I did a burlesque show once, and obviously, like, I was like the least hot one there. So I was like, I have to just.
Oh, jeez.
It's like I have to just. They were actually like a really good audience. But yeah, it's kind of intimidating because everyone there is just like so hot.
Yeah. No, I would feel, yeah. I would feel intimidated too because I got the whole mom belly thing going on still.
I have a mom belly and I'm not a mom. So.
Now you live with your boyfriend. You bought a house out in Los Angeles, right?
We're renting right now. So Los Angeles is like, so I knew it was big, but like, oh my God, like house hunting was like the worst week of our lives because there's just so many different areas and every area is like an extremely different population and environment. So it was like, I don't think we wanted to buy right out of the gate because if we made a mistake, then we were like, so we have our little 1-bedroom house right now. I like this area, but I'd probably like to move closer. We're like a little ways out of the city because a lot of stuff we saw in the city was like either apartments or condos or just like really, really tiny. So
yeah, my friend John and we looked somewhere in the LA area. The first town we looked at, it burned down in wildfires. So I'm like, all right,
nice,
not a good sign, not a good sign. And then like we looked at other stuff. I forget where it was. Maybe near Hollywood. It was like $3,500 a month for freaking 1-bedroom apartment. Like holy shit.
Actually, cheap stuff is going down now because of the pandemic, but it's actually cheaper than Boston here, which is funny. Like I paid more in Boston than we pay here.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Now, what are the people like out there? My friend Mary, her husband was stationed out there. He was in the Navy, and she just said everybody just looked like perfect, like plastic and perfect.
Yeah, people are definitely very different. I feel like, well, everyone talks really slow and moves really slow, which is weird coming from the East Coast.
Yeah.
So, you know, Boston and New York, nobody puts up with any shit. It's like, you need to move out of my way. I'm going to walk 30 miles per hour even if my legs can't carry me that fast. Like, move out of my way. And like, one of my first experiences here was we did a lady spike shoot right after I arrived in downtown LA, which I didn't know was like not a great area. Now I know. But it was like, I learned. But it was just like weird because even in the middle of like the downtown of a city, people were just like moving so slow. And like nobody has a sense of urgency, which is just like, like it's just, at first I was kind of annoyed. I was like, don't you people need to be somewhere?
It's like that. It's like that up here in upstate New York too. It's totally different. Everybody thinks New York, they think New York City, but you move up towards the countryside, everybody is slow like that, slow moving, and yeah.
I felt like I was watching like a slow motion movie. Like it was very bizarre. Like nobody's hustling. What's going on?
I know. Like I go to the store and it's like people are just moving so slow, and I'm used to like going 30 miles an hour, like you said,
yeah,
like walking.
Like in and out.
It's definitely crazy.
Yeah, I feel like I'm slowly becoming a California person. I mean, I've become vegan since I got here, so yeah, it's really getting.
Oh, you're one of those.
One of those. I know, it's annoying. It's fucking annoying. I know. I became a vegan and then almost bought a Prius, and I was like, what has this city done to me?
Yeah, right. Whoa.
Like, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
It totally would be in a Prius.
I know. Couldn't you see me? Well, I got in and then I was like, the driving mechanism's like really weird in a Prius. Like it's not like a normal car, like where the gears are and everything. So I was like, I can't drive this. Just finding Prius.
Now, can you walk to places where you are, or do you have to drive everywhere?
Yeah, so we actually have a little downtown area, which isn't too chaotic and busy like the center of the city, which is nice. So I walk there just to like go to coffee shops or get work done and stuff like that. But mostly you need to drive everywhere, which is a real adjustment. Like in Boston, like nobody even owns cars, so I was just used to being like, oh, I'm walking or I'm taking the train or whatever. But here, yeah, you gotta drive everywhere.
Yeah, I remember. I think I dropped you off at the train station in Manhattan. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Port Authority.
Yeah, yep. I'm like, how the fuck does she do it? I was in the subway once with High Pitch Eric, and like, wow, it's like 1,000 degrees, 10,000 degrees in there.
It's gross. It's really
It's
gross.
really gross.
When I used to be in New York every week, I would walk more than take the train because I just like could not. It was too crowded and too hot, and I was like, I'm just gonna walk. So I like walking and like seeing everything around me. So yeah, used to get my cardio in.
Oh, I know. I hear you. Me too. All I do is chase my son around. You think I would be thin, but no. Because I'm eating toddler food with him, French fries and chicken nuggets.
Like a whole live baby in the time that I haven't seen you. That's
I know. I was always told I could never get pregnant. Doctors swore up and down. I was married for 9 years, nothing. We had looked into in vitro fertilization, and then we just were like, screw it. And then we got divorced, and I met my son's father, and we were dating a month, and boom, I was pregnant. I was like, what the fuck?
It's so wild that you're like a mom. Like that's just like crazy, like how things have changed since.
I know, and like it's weird. Like I still don't feel like a mom, but like I do. It's like it's a weird transition because your whole identity just changes. You know, I can't talk dirt. The only time I get to talk dirty is when I do comedy and like podcasts, because otherwise, because my son will repeat every freaking word I say.
Oh yeah, they're like little parrots. They just like absorb everything you say.
They are, and when I step on his toys, I'm like, ah, fucking. And this morning he said, oh fuck. I said, no, truck. I said truck. Like, oh my god, yeah. The whole pregnancy experience was pretty wild. My baby's father went to jail actually for 6 months of it, so I was all by myself, and because of who he was, my family and friends basically just turned their backs on me. Like the only congratulations I got was from my doctor's nurse. Like, okay.
That's insane, but you did it.
I did it because I can do it.
Human. You literally made a human. That's like crazy.
I know, it's so weird. And the weirdest part is when they come out, thank God I had a C-section, because otherwise, oh my God, I'd still be in the ICU. But like the second I heard him cry, it was like, holy shit, it's real. Like,
yeah,
oh my God.
Oh my God, I have this thing for like forever.
Yeah. Now, do you want children? I mean, you're pretty young still. No.
Absolutely not.
That's what I always used to say, because other people's kids, like, no offense anybody out there, but I just don't
Y'all
want
have
them.
shitty kids.
Exactly.
No, and the funny thing is I work with kids like a lot, and I've taught kids a lot, and I'm really good and experienced with children, but I just, no, not for me. I think I want a career, like obviously you can have a career and be about, my mom like full time was a teacher the entire time she had me. So it's like possible, but I just like, I want my career to be my baby. Like that's.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that.
I just want that more, like, I don't know. That's just more of my desire than to.
Which is good.
All my time doing that.
Yeah, that is good. I had kind of lost my drive, I guess, because my son's father, like, he wouldn't allow me to do comedy. We were kind of in a domestic violence relationship, and I was not allowed to do anything. I wasn't allowed to talk to anybody. Like, I remember this group of New York City comedians were going to come up and try to find me, like, to save me. And like,
oh my God.
Yeah. And then I started back, I think in like October, maybe, when I produced my own show. And then I went back to New York City, and actually March 6th, I had my last show in New York City, and then I got COVID-19 7 days later.
Yeah, wait, I remember you were sick for like a long time.
16 days in total, and like I still have breathing problems, and I have to do nebulizer treatments, inhalers now. It was definitely no joke.
That's insane. Yeah, I remember, and your son didn't end up getting it, right?
No, he had a cough. He had a cough for like a day, and then that was it. I think because they say, you know, the younger, maybe the immune system kicks it out quicker.
Like not as many children have been getting it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you can say you had COVID. You're gonna.
I know. I feel like I should get like a tattoo, like COVID-19 survivor.
survived COVID-19.
Or at least a shirt or something, you know, like a titty shirt.
Well, I'm so glad that you like made it through that, because like I've seen some crazy stories and people still won't wear masks. So
I know, it's like cover your fucking ugly face and wear a mask.
literally, we're asking you to do the minimal amount of upkeep on your face so that you can wear a mask. Like literally,
Right?
This is the first time I've worn makeup in 3 months. Am I complaining? No. Like, and nobody sees the bottom half of your face. That's like a gift.
I know, it's great. Although I get freaked out sometimes because if I don't wear the eye makeup and then I'm like, I wear a lip color and I'm like, fuck, they can't see the lip color.
I know. I actually had a job interview like a month ago, and I was like, what color lipstick should I wear? And then I was like, okay, well, it doesn't fucking matter. So
Nope. It doesn't.
I didn't put on anything else on my face. I just put like one thing of mascara and was like, done.
Nice. I know. I see guys out in the store, and I try to check them out, and it's like I don't know, that mask could come off, and it could be a horror show.
Yeah. You don't know what they got when you.
No, definitely not.
Like 3 layers of teeth.
Especially in the county I live. A lot of them don't have teeth. So,
excuse me, are your mom and dad cousins?
So yeah, I think I went to school with some people and they had like 50 cousins. All my family's in Long Island, so I had one cousin up here.
That's insane. But
yeah, no. And I mean, I moved up here when I was 5 and started kindergarten here. And I remember the kids making fun of the way I talked. Like I still had the accent.
Yeah.
They were just not welcoming at all. But like, as I get older, like a lot of the people here are very small town, they're very kind. They're very helpful. Yeah. They like to help each other out. And with all the help that they've gave me during COVID-19, like a lot of friends and stuff dropped off food. They dropped off essential stuff. And it was a great experience. But, unfortunately, there are the super, I guess, what we call them, hillbillies. I don't know another word. Redneck. Oh, maybe redneck is more.
Yeah, redneck.
Yeah, I'm actually dating a redneck. We've been on and off for a year, and it's like he took me on his He took me on a 4-wheeler, and I thought I was going to die. I'd never been on one before. I am screaming, I don't want to be the next Christopher Reeves in his ear. And he's like, I'm going 12 miles an hour. I'm like, that's enough.
It feels so much faster on those, doesn't it? It
does. Oh my God. I thought I was going to die. I really did. But it's weird dating somebody of the complete opposite because, you get to learn the lifestyles of everybody, and yeah. it's pretty cool. Like his family, they all live on, like, they call it the compound. It's all the relatives.
That's a real redneck thing to say. I feel like we all live on the compound. It's like a bunch. If
I go missing, look for me on the compound.
I know to come to look to the compound.
That's right.
I'm like, excuse me, where's your mayo storage? I know there's a woman in there.
It's great though. I actually met him through a neighbor of mine. How'd you meet your boyfriend?
We actually worked at Guitar Center together.
Nice.
Wow, 6 years ago. That's disturbing. 6 years ago, and he was like the only non-creepy person that worked there. And actually, I was like, ooh. I'll take you.
Yeah, right. That's cool. I didn't know you worked at it as a guitar.
I did. Those were some dark days. Well, yeah, because I was like more into music. I didn't do, I was just starting comedy then. But I was more into music and doing stuff like that. And Guitar Center, I was like, oh, I'll work at a music store. And then I realized that, like, everybody was just so creepy. Like, tell me I lit their fire. And I'm like, I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know what that means, but we have guitar picks for $2.99. Can I pick it?
They're trying to use Jim Morrison, Light My Fire, to hit on you, but they're definitely not Jim Morrison.
Yeah. Oh, no. Nope.
actually, before comedy, I worked with developmentally disabled adults for like 16 years. Yeah, and then I started just like performing at my brother's shows that he had at his house, and and then just, like, the rest is history.
And here you are now.
And here I am, in my living room. If you could see what is around me, I'll show you toys.
Oh my God.
Toys.
Wait, I love that you just have like a purple curtain. It's like you're performing a magic show at a kid's birthday party. I love it.
I know, right? I picked the purple because it's the color of domestic violence awareness. So that's the story behind that. Yeah. And then in every like graphic, my buddy Dr. Ivan Graphics does them, and everything there's going to be an Easter egg. My son is in my lapel of my shirt right here.
Yes, I saw that. That's so cute. I love that.
Yeah, I figured I'd include him in everything since he is my driving force behind, you know, all this now.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't wait to meet him one day.
I know.
Enjoy other people's kids.
And you know what? He's not a douchebag either. He's super well behaved. Everywhere I take him, they're like, "Wow, he's mature for his age." Yeah.
You like trains? I think you said he likes trains.
Yes.
My boyfriend's obsessed with trains, and he actually works on the trains.
Oh.
So we'll have to get them on a play date together.
Yes. That would be great. I'll bring the snacks.
My boyfriend likes Doritos and
Cool Ranch or spicy or regular.
He was eating Cool Ranch the other day.
My son loves Doritos too.
Oh, perfect.
Exactly, perfect match. That'd be great. Put them on a play date and then we'd go do our thing.
Then we go do something else.
Hell yeah. That would be fantastic. My podcast actually airs tomorrow, July 4th. Woohoo!
Oh my God, Independence Day.
I know. That's why I chose it. I'm like, holy shit, you know what? July 4th is coming up. Let me release it on Independence Day. Because I am finally independent. For many years, you know, I depended on my husband. Yeah. Because I was so depressed and just in a bad place, and it feels really great to like be able to do shit on my own.
You go, girl. This is it. You're doing it.
I know, and you inspire me with your Lady Spike Media and all the shows that you do. I think it's great.
Thank you. I do what I can, you know.
That's right. That's right. So they can go to ladyspikemedia.com.
Yes, and all social media is at Lady Spike Media. And then for my social media, it's just at Caitlin Arcand,
CAITLINARCAND. Perfect. I think we should sign off now. It's been a fantastic time with you. I had a wonderful time.
This was so much fun. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited for this to come out, and I'm so happy that you have this awesome project going. I know that it is going to take off and be fabulous, and I'm going to promote the shit out of you.
Aw, thank you. And I will promote the shit out of you.
Yeah, women supporting women.
Hell yes. Everybody, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Oh, can I stop the recording? Stop. There we go. Good thing there's an edit on this.